Who said that big things have to be slow? Forget that myth, because we're about to show you how the giants of the sky move faster than you can imagine. Some of them can outrun the fastest fighter jets, leaving them far behind, while others are so swift that by the time you blink, they've traveled hundreds of yards. To grasp their speed, consider this. This aircraft can launch a missile and then overtake it, but even that pales in comparison to the true beast we're about to reveal. This isn't just engineering, it's a machine that shatters the laws of physics. And if you think you already know what we're talking about, just wait, because the best is yet to come. This legend is always ahead, so fast that it could even outrun its own shadow. The SR-71 Blackbird isn't just an aircraft, it's a true icon of the skies. Back in the 1960s, it was already light years ahead of its time, and even today it looks like something built by aliens. It's the fastest and one of the largest planes in the world, capable of flying at over 2,200 miles per hour. That's so fast that it could literally outrun its own missiles. To put it into perspective, if enemy fighters or missiles locked onto the SR-71, all it had to do was throttle up and they had no chance of catching it.
The Blackbird was revolutionary because it was the first aircraft designed for sustained flight at 2,000 miles per hour.
Just imagine, this plane got so hot that it could melt itself. Yes, due to its record-breaking speed, the fuselage would heat up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the structure to expand during flight. Engineers came up with a truly unique solution. They built the airframe with large gaps that only sealed once the aircraft accelerated to its cruising speed. This meant that while it was on the ground, it would literally leak fuel and other fluids. Another mind-blowing fact? The SR-71 is so fast that it could cross the entire United States in less than an hour, while commercial planes take about 5 hours to do the same. How about this for a prank? When the SR-71 flew over enemy territory, every radar could see it, but no one could do anything about it. Throughout its entire operational history, the enemy launched over 4,000 missiles at it, and not a single one ever hit. It wasn't just fast, it was untouchable. And here's one last fact that'll blow your mind. This plane was so advanced that it required a special type of fuel designed exclusively for it. This fuel was so top secret that even if you wanted to buy it, you'd first need clearance for highly classified technology. Oh, and one more thing. For safety, its pilots had to wear pressure suits almost identical to astronaut gear. Why? Because the SR-71 flew at altitudes over 85,000 feet, which is where many satellites begin their orbits.
The thing that's special about the Blackbird was it was all miracles.
The most incredible part? Even today, the SR-71 remains the fastest jet aircraft in history, and no one has ever surpassed it. It's a true superhero of aviation, a machine that tore through the sky at speeds almost beyond imagination. But what's a great movie without a rival? In this story, the SR-71's counterpart is the Tu-160, a Russian giant, heavier, bulkier, and slower, but still America's main competitor in the game of strategic bombers. If you enjoyed learning about the SR-71 and are even more curious about whether the Tu-160 poses any real threat to it, the best way to support us is with your subscription. It's not just a number, it's real motivation for us to keep making more awesome and exciting videos for you. And if you have any ideas for our next episode, drop them in the comments. We read everything. The Tu-160, or as it's dramatically called in Russia, the White Swan, is actually more like a dinosaur that somehow survived to this day. Sure, back in 1981 when it first appeared, it was a true monster, the largest and most powerful supersonic bomber in the world. It has a top speed of 1,380 miles per hour and can carry a massive 88,000-pound payload. It was designed to carry nuclear missiles and fly 7,500 miles without refueling. To put that into perspective, that's like taking off from Las Vegas and reaching Australia in one go. But here's the problem. The world has moved on and the Tu-160 hasn't. While Russia tries to act like it's modernizing these aircraft, the truth is that their electronics are stuck in the 1980s. It's like trying to use an old cassette player while the rest of the world is on Spotify. Its avionics, sensors, navigation, and weapons control systems are all outdated, especially compared to American bombers like the B-1B Lancer or the brand new B-21 Raider, which are literally built on modern digital technology. Unlike U.S. bombers, which are constantly upgraded and improved, the Tu-160 is a relic that just can't reach today's standards. And while it still looks intimidating, in real warfare it's more of a museum piece than a serious threat to the most advanced U.S. and allied aviation. And now it's time for the grand finale. But not just one, three. Three strategic bombers, each with its own unique role, yet all sharing the same ultimate goal: absolute air dominance. Meet the B-1B Lancer, B-2 Spirit, and the legendary B-52 Stratofortress. The B-1B Lancer is a true predator, designed for high-speed, low-altitude strikes. Thanks to its variable sweep wings, it can fly at Mach 1.2 while remaining stealthier than most radars can detect. It carries up to 132,000 pounds of ordnance, including JASSM-ER precision cruise missiles, capable of striking targets over 620 miles away.
Yeah, the B-1 was capable of bombing in a real small accuracy.
The B-1B Lancer, nicknamed the Bone, is the perfect combination of speed, power, and destructive force. The B-2 Spirit is the invisible ghost, capable of slipping through the most advanced air defense systems and delivering a precision strike straight to the enemy's heart. It's the world's first stealth bomber designed to penetrate high-risk zones undetected. Its radar signature is so small that enemy systems see it as nothing more than a bird. The B-2 can carry up to 80 GBU-38 bombs or 16 B-61, B-83 thermonuclear warheads, and while each B-2 costs nearly $2 billion to build, its capabilities are priceless. The B-52 Stratofortress is a legend that's outlived multiple generations of pilots and combat missions. In service since 1955, this giant can carry up to 70,000 pounds of ordnance and remains the backbone of the U.S. strategic forces. With a combat range of over 8,700 miles, it's perfect for global operations. But here's the craziest part. The U.S. Air Force plans to keep the B-52 in service until the 2050s. Imagine that. A bomber designed in the 1950s will still be relevant nearly a century later. And while each of these bombers serves its own unique role, together they form a deadly aerial trio that makes the United States the undisputed hegemon in the skies. Did you know that the B-2 stealth bombers like something from another world? It's not just a plane, it's an entire mystery that the American military kept under wraps for a long time. Some believe it's the infamous TR-3B Black Manta that everyone whispers about. The B-2 is a true marvel of technology, making it hard to detect. Instead of the usual wings or fuselage that normally show up on radar, the B-2 has a very unique shape, like a flattened flying triangle. What's even more interesting is that its design is based not only on aerodynamics, but also on a special coating that literally eats radio waves instead of reflecting them. It's a kind of camouflage, but one that works at frequencies we can't even see.
The shape of the B-2 is basically designed so that it minimizes the amount of radar that can be returned to the original source.
Its features are mind-blowing. Just think about it. This plane can climb to an altitude of over 50,000 feet. It flies so high that it's practically invisible. And the range? It can fly over 6,800 miles without a single stop. To put it in perspective, that's like flying from the west coast of the U.S. to Europe without refueling. And there's more. It carries so much weaponry that no other aircraft can compare. If you ever saw it in action, you'd understand that it's a true predator. The B-2 stealth bomber is so packed with technology that it's like a computer with wings. Its brain is powered by artificial intelligence, which assists in flight and combat missions. It analyzes massive amounts of data in real time, helping pilots make quick decisions, choosing the best trajectories to avoid enemy radar or bypass threats. And it's not just about navigation. The AI literally suggests the best way to complete the mission, saving fuel and maximizing safety. What's under the hood? Let's start with the engines. The B-2 is equipped with 4 General Electric F-118 GE100 turbofan engines. These engines are not only incredibly powerful, but also nearly silent. thanks to a specially designed exhaust system that disperses sound and reduces its infrared signature. This makes it almost invisible to heat sensors. Plus, the B-2 can reach speeds of over 620 miles per hour, which, while not a record for bombers, is perfect for its stealth mission.
The B-2 is a stealth aircraft. It's designed to basically kick down the door to open up that entryway for other aircraft.
As for armament, the B-2 can carry up to 18 tons of munitions, including conventional bombs, precision-guided JDAMs, and even thermonuclear weapons. Its arsenal includes 16 bombs or missile racks, which it can configure based on the mission. For example, for high-priority targets, it can load up to 16 GBU 31 JDAMs, each weighing 2,000 pounds. And if the mission calls for something more powerful, the B-2 can carry 2 B-83 thermonuclear bombs. Just imagine, it's flying, invisible to radar, with a few dozen of these surprises under its wing. But it's not just the weaponry that's impressive. Its cockpit is a true technological marvel. Pilots sit in a cabin equipped with interactive displays that show data from radars, sensors, and navigation systems. The aircraft is partially automated thanks to fly-by-wire systems that provide smooth control and help prevent overloads. In case of danger, the autopilot can even take over to keep the plane in a safe position. But the key feature is that the B-2 systems analyze the radio frequency field around it to detect and evade even the most advanced enemy radar. Imagine, it can literally see radio waves and find gaps in their coverage. And what about the TR-3B Black Manta? This is where things get interesting. Theorists claim that the TR-3B is a secret military project, a flying saucer supposedly used by the U.S. military for covert missions. It's said to have a triangular shape as well, and unlike conventional aircraft, moves completely silently. When the B-2 first appeared, many thought, could this be the TR-3B in disguise? Most of these aircraft have the same triangular shape, which helps reduce radar visibility. Eyewitness reports often mention a dark triangular object in the sky. The shape is no coincidence, as it's ideal for stealth missions. Their dimensions are also quite similar, although the B-2 is significantly larger than the rumored TR-3B. However, both have ample space for powerful engines and high-tech equipment.
To the wing design, to the flying wing design over a traditional aircraft is the replacement of that fuselage with more wing. So that creates a bigger surface area of wing, which translates into more lift.
In terms of specifications, there are some intriguing similarities as well. For example, the B-2 can fly at an altitude of over 50,000 feet, while the TR-3B, according to legend, can ascend to 80,000 feet or even higher. Reportedly, the Black Manta can carry both conventional and advanced weaponry, similar to the B-2's ability to deliver thermonuclear payloads. Both aircraft also have stealth coatings that absorb radar waves. For the B-2, this is achieved with special stealth paint that absorbs radiation and cooling systems for the exhaust gases. It's speculated that the TR-3B may use similar materials. Eyewitnesses of the Black Manta often describe an engine noise that doesn't match traditional expectations. This is quite similar to accounts of the B-2, which is nearly silent on takeoff and barely audible in flight. It's also said that both the TR-3B and the B-2 have technology that allows them to glide through the air with minimal aerodynamic effort. And there are reports that both aircraft were tested in the Nevada desert, near Area 51. This location is well known as a primary testing ground for the most secretive U.S. developments. Here's another interesting coincidence. Both aircraft began testing around the same period. The B-2 was developed in the late 80s, and the TR-3B supposedly emerged around the same time. This has led many to believe that the B-2 was actually the crystallized version of the TR-3B, whose testing had already provided valuable experience for the development of official stealth technology. Even more intriguing is that the B-2 not only underwent testing in the Nevada desert, where UF sightings are common, but also participated in real missions. It's said that it was used in covert operations where the goal was to be so quiet that even a fly wouldn't go unnoticed. The B-2, which is officially a bomber, may have carried out more than just conventional military tasks. Its design could be the result of research and experimental developments. Perhaps Black Manta is simply a nickname for one variation of the technology that served as the foundation for the B-2. Unofficial data, eyewitness accounts, and reports suggest that both aircraft may share the same DNA at their core. If these theories aren't just fantasies, it's quite possible that the B-2 is a legitimate showcase for a much more mysterious technology. We may be looking at the official face of the same machine as the TR-3B Black Manta, which remains beyond the reach of official records, but continues to be a source of fascination and speculation among enthusiasts worldwide.